Hello, my name is Doug Allen, and I'm working on a degree in interdisciplinary studies at Louisiana State University with a minor in leadership and human resource development. I have been involved in the financial services industry for 20 years and have developed skills in improving retirement outcomes. I've also had a corporate retirement plans internship with Nationwide Financial and discovered that I excel at partnering with human resource professionals to transform their retirement plan into a valuable employee benefit. I hope to leverage my talents to raise retirement awareness and increase employee loyalty for high profile firms in Baton Rouge. Could you tell me more about your company's retirement plan process? Nationwide Financial is one of the leaders in retirement plans. State of California, New York, New York City, every parish in the state. But I have had the honor and the ability to work with smaller plans, with companies starting a retirement plan all the way up to 500, 1,000 employee plans. I chose Nationwide because it's a leader in that area, but a crucial part of that company is working with the human resources department to make sure that the employees are leveraging that aspect of their benefits plan to really capitalize, to prepare for and live in retirement. So Nationwide not only provides the program for that, but I chose it because I work there and understand the values-based program. So it's a company that values volunteerism and doing the right thing and really just partnering with better retirement outcomes instead of just a series of transactions. So it's a company that really just resonates with me. It really sets me up to ultimately work in the human resources field. So my career goals post LSU to continue working here for another 10 years. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy the people I work with. And now I have a greater appreciation for those human resources relationships that have been cultivated over the last 12 years that I've been with the company and working in the territory, specifically in the Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Louisiana, Mississippi areas. And ultimately, it will allow me to try on a lot of different fits so I can work with different companies, different sizes, see what industry and see what outcomes are best fitting my personality and what types of companies I can do the best good for in terms of helping them navigate the human resources area, as well as ones that I can grow into, appreciate down the road. So my intern experience really had three different takeaways. It was a different approach to my work schedule. Normally, I'm partnering with financial advisors to help promote retirement plans, have them develop new business so they can work with the individual participant employees to help them prepare for and save in retirement. So by working with the human resources area and the retirement plan financial advisor to specifically drive better retirement outcomes, that was a deeper level of work and partnership that I've been a part of in the past. So I have a greater understanding of the challenges they go through and the partnership necessary really to meet the people where they're at on the retirement journey. So whether it's young people just starting off or people getting close to retirement, putting the 401k in perspective of their overall financial picture is really empowering for them. And it was insightful to me to get that experience to really help kind of drive the conversation. My professional development goals is really to understand the leadership concept more. So it's one thing to be in the leadership role within Nationwide, within my family, within other organizations, but understand what leadership means within a company and my role in working with the employees of that company to try to have a better understanding of all the challenges that will get to retirement. And it's really is driven by the education aspect of it. A lot of times people aren't really educated on the importance of financial literacy. Specifically, people understand that retirement plans are important to be a part of, but they may not know how to do it and then how to invest and what the rules and regulations and limits and how an IRA can factor into that, longevity risk, pensions, all of those things that drive and ultimately marry with Social Security and healthcare when they get to their early 60s, mid 60s for them and their family. And then lastly, driving those results with participants. So making sure that they understand their specific situation with the education that we provide along the fringes to make sure that they're prepared. And ultimately, the collection of evidence that I have from the internship was studying 10 companies. These 10 companies, you can see by industry, the number of employees, varies, as do the interaction that I had with the plan sponsor, which is the HR department, and the financial advisor. You can see the scores of 1 to 5. 1 is one that did not have a lot of responsiveness to my overtures to really engage them over the 6 weeks period. Financial advisors that responded within 24 hours had a 5, 48 hours 4, 72 hours 3, and so forth. So spring break was in there. It was a challenge to get a hold of people, but ultimately you can see even short amount of time, the initial participation rate starting in March, the end of March, and then lastly, the final participation amounts. The green colored companies are ones that appreciated in over 10% increase in people that were engaged, and the red is under 10%. I would say that even a 6-week period, having the ability to drive these kind of results is really impactful. And all 10 of these companies agreed to do future education in the past. So let me define what the evidence and measurement was in terms of participation. It wasn't just being in the retirement plan. It was leveraging a tool that is on the website called the My Interactive Retirement Planner. The My Interactive Retirement Planner takes the person's age, the amount of contributions they're making to their retirement plan, the balance of their retirement plan, and really just shows them how they're doing versus other people their age, salary level, and contribution amounts across the country. From there, they could bring in spousal assets. It will assume Social Security rates that will bring them to age 62 and 65, full retirement age, and they can include outside assets. So maybe other savings accounts they have, and really allow them to pick a time and income level in the future where they want to retire and where their household wants to retire, and show them how they're doing and the impact that maybe an extra 1%, 2%, 3% will have after taxes to get them to connect their present self with their future goals. So that's the collection of evidence and what we mean in terms of participation. Those people that engage that tool to really invest in themselves is really going to drive that outcome. And I find a better gauge for the internship. My takeaways from the journal entries, specifically 3 and 4. First of all, in 3 was the mentorship and the difference between a career and lifestyle. You see people that are in jobs all the time, and they really enjoy the lifestyle aspect of it. The career is a different turn. You can tell those people how willing they are. I remember when I was first starting off in the industry a long time ago, and you would see people just like maybe the income or the perks or the benefits of the job, but really not be flexible to evolve their career, see that next step down the road. And I think leveraging a mentorship, having somebody that has been in your shoes at that age and kind of grown within the company is the best way to understand what the future may hold for you. And then secondly, the expectations during the internship was an eye-opener. A lot of times I set out with my goals in view, but those goals weren't necessarily consistent with what the plan or the advisor was looking to try to accomplish, especially in a 6-week period. Longevity planning for retirement is a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50-year endeavor. So really try to pigeonhole it into 6 weeks was a challenge. And adjusting my expectations with vacations, with spring break built in there was difficult, but ultimately more impactful because it was a lesson for me to understand how that holistically fit into not only the Asher book, but my career, and making sure that ultimately the goal of increasing retirement outcomes, better outcomes, was in place. My mock interview was with a man called named Mark Sotil, who is the national sales director as well as the human resources director for a spring break company. And so he networks with people across the country and really helps understand the sales aspect of it, but really handles a remote job that has been difficult in the past few years to grow. You know, if nobody's traveling, it's hard to really get, trips booked. So the challenge to be transparent and fair along the way. I think the employees understood what the business was going through, the headwinds that they were facing, but at the same time, he wanted to try to show his cards. And I think that built loyalty. In fact, I knew it built loyalty and commitment. He said they've only had one person leave the company in 6 years. And I think that is a testament to not only how the professional development works within the company, so people don't stay within the same role, they're able to evolve and ultimately get to a fit within the organization that fits their skill set. and being offered good employee benefits and fairness, I think goes a long way. So those are my two takeaways from the mock interview. He does a good job, and it was really, really helpful to hear him do that. The Asher book takeaways mentioned this a little bit in terms of the mentorship, but really the message for me is the importance of learning. Taking this class, taking other classes, being engaged, doing professional designations. Really, if you're not learning, the industry around you is evolving, whether or not you want to realize that. And I think learning puts you in situations to learn from other people, as well as challenge yourself and become your true authentic self and what your goals and aspirations are, and having those match up. So that was insightful. And then secondly, standing next to superstars, not just for the benefit that it might promote you within the organization, but just having good, influential people around you. If you have hardworking, dedicated, insightful, healthy relationships, that's ultimately going to rub off on you. And we saw within the book that if an organization or a department or a boss and their subordinates are superstars, you're going to have a halo effect and move up the ranks because the light is shining so brightly on them. So standing next to superstars, just because it's healthy for you within the organization, but also from a trajectory upward on the corporate ladder or your organizational ladder, it will have a residual benefit. And then finally, after graduation plans, I plan to be a proud LSU alum. It's been a long journey. I do have a degree from another institution, but this has always been my dream goal, is to finish with LSU. So my immediate future is continue working with human resource professionals, soak up as much information as I can, really be invested in goals towards retirement outcomes and bettering myself, bettering them, and finding out new ways to do that better. But ultimately learn from a lot of different providers, learn from a lot of different, see different techniques, build that network so that I can find 10 years down the road a good job that will allow me to be most impactful with employees and managing the group. So with that, I will say thank you. Go Tigers. It's been an absolute honor and blast to learn from every one of you. It's I got really motivated reading some of your stories and goals, especially with the fears. I think we're all in this boat together. Change is difficult, but man, it seems like every one of you has a very bright future. So with ample amount of gratitude, I will say adieu and go Tigers.